Okay.
Recording.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, this is Jerry DeLamus and Mac Riz, and we're going to look at a video put out by Tom Macdonald and Adam Calhoun. It's called The Brave. Hope you enjoy it. Like and subscribe if you do. And if you don't, still like and subscribe, and then tell us why you don't like it. So, Semper Fi. Here we go.
To anybody out there still listening, this will be our last transmission.
There comes a time in every man's life
And he has to stop looking up to his heroes and become one himself.
doesn't matter who you voted for.
Or what kind of car you drive, or what the man on the news has to say.
Just take a look around. This ain't the life we fought for.
Our world is under siege,
Our nation is in peril.
and our people are divided.
We've sacrificed too much for our freedom to let it slip away now. The world doesn't need more billionaires.
The world doesn't need more politicians. The world needs heroes. And you don't need x-ray vision, you don't need to fly, you don't need to look cool on the cover of a comic book. You just need to realize what you're made of. And you are the few. You are the strong.
You are the brave.
Here's the problem with America, the country is broken. Cause they minds stay closed, but they mouths stay open. Get attacked and we blame terrorists, go broken, we blame the price. Blame racists for the racism, but only if his skin is white. If we don't need guns, cause we can call the police. We don't need fire extinguishers, call a fireman please. You didn't wanna build a wall and now the border is weak. Your favorite actor has a gate that's like 15 feet. Racism is gay, if you're offended, that's retarded. And tolerance is great until you speak and you're a target. If a white man paints his face black, he's a racist piece of garbage. But you put him in a dress and he's courageous and he's gorgeous. All these double standards, man, I'm tired of the noise. Freedom's an illusion if they censor your voice. Call a dad a deadbeat for neglecting his boys, but a mom kills a baby and you call it pro-choice.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So this is
Wow.
the Brave.
How long has that song gone on? How many minutes or seconds has that played?
That was 1 minute and 34 seconds to this point.
Oh my God. He said in 1 minute and 34 seconds on that video more than I've heard a politician say in years of service. More accurate. How succinct is that message?
Right?
It's I like the beginning of it too, Mac, is where they're broadcasting out.
Yeah.
And because they are, in reality, they are
Yeah.
broadcasting out. And just the hypocrisy, the lunacy of our society, of what we're allowing to happen. Why do we tolerate it? Would you tolerate it in your own house? I mean, if your dog acted that outrageous in your house, would you allow it? You wouldn't. And but yet we allow it in our own country, in our own cities and towns. You know, it all starts in our own homes. And then it goes out to our neighborhood, then it goes to our cities or towns, and then it goes out to our state, right? Our counties and states, and then up to the federal government. And that's where we need to grasp control. And I just love it.
Of the intro. So the intro is that is the start of the album called The Brave. So this was an album called The Brave. The song is New World Order. That was my mistake.
The song is New World Order, huh?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. And they're going to start calling Tom an extremist. You better watch out. I'm sure he's shaking in his boots. Yeah, well, God bless him for it.
All right.
God bless him.
Here we go.
And Adam.
A dad a deadbeat for neglecting his boys, but a mom kills a baby and you call it pro-choice. You act like you're so much better than us. Yeah, we know that. Who told you that you so special? To a new world order. Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know that. Good job, you lose, here's your medal. To a new world order.
Why they hate the flag, they try to burn it to the ground. Don't do that in front of me, I'ma let off a round, pal. Scream loud, burn the city down now. Put it on the news, make them all feel proud. Look, make a system where 85% of black people fill the prison. Is it cause they black or they make bad decisions? I ain't good at math, but it seems like it's division. Or is it white privilege? I believe politicians need to be locked up. Try to take our freedoms, that's how you get shot up. Got our back against the wall, try to just stop us. More guns, more ammunition, please stock up. Election gets rigged, rights get infringed. Take this syringe, frighten your kids, show up right where you live. Make me wanna grab a rifle and just go.
You act like you're so.
Wow. Wow, they play this on YouTube, huh? I'm surprised.
Yeah.
And, you might have to have Elon Musk let him play it. That was pretty harsh, and it's it's pretty harsh. If you ever listen to any of the writings of our founding fathers, is some of the stuff they wrote, and when this country's getting founded, was pretty harsh, and pretty tough. And before you go grabbing a firearm, you better be thinking about it. And that's the thing, is because you hear conversations from people. I've heard them over the years because we've done a lot of public speaking, and is that some will say, well, we need a revolution and we're gonna this and that, and it's like, okay, so what do you want to sacrifice?
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden it's like, and what do I have to sacrifice? Well, the minute you pick up that firearm, you squeeze off a round, you better be ready to sacrifice, buddy. Because if you haven't made that decision already, you're gonna come to a tough decision. That's not even gonna be your decision anymore at that point.
And that's why I like the visuals of them in the psych ward. They're being pushed up. They're the expression of being pushed into a corner.
Yeah.
And we're being pushed into a corner, so he's not wrong about if this doesn't change soon.
Well, and who's to say? There was an old Twilight Zone series, and it came out in the '60s, I think. So I'm going to really date myself. Everybody's going to think I'm 25 anymore, and I know you were. And there's this one where this gal's getting an operation, right? And they have her face covered up, and she's in an operating room, and all the doctors and nurses in there, and they have their face masks on too, and they're not afraid of coronavirus, right? But it's pre-coronavirus, and so they're talking, they're going, well, we don't know if we're going to be able to help you out, and then it comes out that she's just so ugly, they're trying to make her beautiful so she can fit into society, right? And so they do this surgery, and they tell her there's the chances of success versus failure and all that. So they go in, do the surgery, then later they come out and they undo her mouth or undo her face, and they don't show us. And the doctors, nurses go, oh, they're all like, oh my God, gasping, right? It's so bad. And so they go out and they go, oh, I'm sorry, this surgery is a failure, right? So they go out and they go, we're going to get so-and-so, this guy in here, he's going to take you to this colony because you're just too ugly for society, really. They get this guy, comes in, no mask, he's a handsome guy, right? And they look at the girl, she's beautiful, right? And they take their masks off and they have like pig faces, right? Because it's perception.
Right.
Right, it's perception. And whoever's setting the rules is going to guard that perception. And that's what we're up against. What they're talking about is in our society, and how people are being judged, because they say, oh, don't judge anybody. They're judging like mad, right? Mm-hmm. If you're white, you're a bad guy, unless you're gay, right? Or you come out in drag queen or whatever, right? Or some transvestite, whatever they're calling them right now, is then you're okay. And if you want to find a white guy who's good on national broadcasting, on a TV show or a movie, who's going to be the really good guy, it's going to be the gay guy. It's not going to be the white father who goes to work every day and takes care of his family. That guy's they're going to play him out to be an imbecile. And right. But if he's gay, he's the one everybody's going to come to and trust and talk to, and because they're playing a perception game. And right. There's a post on Facebook, right? It says they got a picture of the elephant in the room, right? It says, I don't want to say it right, but the unvaccinated aren't dying, right? And so it's perception, and Tom and Adam are onto it here.
All right, here we go.
Ammunition, please stock up. Election gets rigged, rights get infringed. Take this syringe, frighten your kids, show up right where you live. Make me wanna grab a rifle and just go.
You act like you're so much better than us. Yeah, we know that. Who told you that you so special to a new world order? Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know that. Good job, you lose, here's your medal. To a new world order.
And everyone
Everyone blames white folks for every little bitty thing. We don't have no one to blame, we take responsibility. They tell you be a man, then call it toxic masculinity. Then when you act too feminine, they call it white fragility.
I don't understand trans man with humility. I'm just trying to raise my kid the best of my ability. If I disagree, you try to cancel, get rid of me. You cancer, you can't be the answer, you killing me.
And I hate white supremacy just as much as you, but I ain't feeling guilty for something I didn't do. The system's killing everyone, it sucks but it's true. They kill you, then they broadcast it and call it the news.
Or they'll brainwash you through social media feeds. And if you disagree, delete you immediately. Make America China pretty easy to see. I will always remember the land of the free.
You act like you're so...
Yeah. Yeah, they're taking your rights. And that is absolutely true. And they try to make us China. And you see China's still locked down. They're having their problems, so... But, you know, is power corrupts, right? And absolute power corrupts, absolutely. And it's a fight we're in, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical fight, but it is a fight, and we're in a fight over the very soul, if you will, of our country, and for me personally, the only way that I know that I can make a solid based decision is my foundation, is my faith in the Messiah in Christ, and my relationship with His Father. Is that way I know that I'm making solid decisions, and that I can discern good from evil, as the Scripture tells us we need to be able to do.
Right.
And I can see right and wrong. But if you look at what society does, is they don't want to discern between right and wrong. There's no right and wrong in their mind. What there is those who don't agree with them are just flat evil, and need to be dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a dangerous place to be. I mean, I wouldn't kill somebody for being a homosexual. Not my job. You know, I mean, it's I don't know whose job it is. You know, God makes a decision, they're abomination for practicing that type of thing, and he decides that's what he's gonna do. Well, that's his decision. That's what he's gonna do. That's not my judgment. But I can judge good behavior and bad behavior.
Right.
And so the first person I'm judging is me. Is my behavior good? And if I got some bad spots, then I'm going to fix those things up. But that doesn't mean that when I judge myself, like Jesus says, right? If you have a board in your own eye, right, pull that out first. So it can help see get the speck out of your brother's eye. And it's not that you don't help your brother get the speck out of his eye, but make sure you don't have a log in your own eye first. Get it out, and because we need to be able to see right and wrong. Mm-hmm. And if we can't see right and wrong, there is absolutely no foundation for us making any good decisions. None. Zero. Yeah. And that's where we're at as a nation right now. We're not making any good decisions. This is that's exactly where we're at. And the preachers are looking at the Bible like our politicians look at the Constitution with resentment, and they give it complete disregard. And it's a shame, but we're gonna reap what we sow, and we see it. We see it in everything. We know we've got a criminal in the White House. We know we've got criminals within our government. We know the FBI is corrupt as hell. Obvious. We see it. We saw. We don't even know the fraction of it, but we saw what they did with Trump and things that came out in proof and testimony that were in fact true, not just rumor, not speculation, but were true. What was going on, and so we know that's true. And these are the ones who are supposed to be the lawgivers, right? The ones who are supposed to protect us and the Constitution and all, and they're corrupt as hell.
Right.
And so where do you find justice? What happens is people start finding it individually. And that's where they need to really tread lightly and be careful. Yeah. Everybody. It might be easy to pull that plug, but it's tough getting it back in.
Yep. All right, here we go.
Much better than us. Yeah, we know that. Who told you that you so special? To a new world order. Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know that. Good job, you lose. Here's your medal. To a new world order.
I hope even though I introduced this wrong with as the song is the brave, but the song is the New World Order, but the album is the brave is well. So there you have it. If you're watching this, get the album, because I can't imagine after listening to this one that there's anything else on there that you're not going to be happy that you listen to. And
Absolutely.
and yeah, listen and think. Think for yourselves. You know, they say critical thinkers, right? But think for yourself. You have your own mind. You know, that's your mind, your life to make your decisions on. You know, and just make sure that you're making good decisions. But don't be afraid to stand. Don't be afraid to stand, because fear paralyzes. I've been in. I can't tell you how many emergency situations where I put people back together. I mean, I've been some pretty tough spots, and I'll tell you what is. I saw a lot of people, most of them that were in those areas around there froze. And I'm not a freezing guy, so I just jumped in and moved. Just jump in and move. Do what is right, and react. You know, not out of fear, but to react out with wisdom, and pray on it.
Yep. All right, guys. If you liked what you heard, that is the opening to The Brave and the song New World Order with Tom Macdonald and Adam Calhoun. Like and subscribe down below. See you guys on the next one.
Semper Fi.